Let me tell you something that nobody wants to hear, but everyone needs to understand. You're not special. Your problems aren't unique. Your struggles are unprecedented. And the fact that life is hard, that's not breaking news. That's reality. I see it everywhere I look. People drowning in self-pity, complaining about their circumstances, blaming their parents, their country, their boss, the economy, the government, always pointing fingers, never looking in the mirror. And you know what? I used to watch this and feel anger, but now I feel something else. I feel disgust mixed with opportunity. Because while everyone else is crying about how hard life is, I'm building empires. People think success is about money. It's not. Success is about surviving when everyone expects you to fail. It's about standing tall when the world is trying to break you. It's about refusing to be a victim in a world that rewards victims with nothing but more misery. I wasn't born into wealth. I wasn't handed anything. There was a time in my life when I was broke, completely broke, living in circumstances that would make most people quit, eating the same cheap meals day after day, watching other people live the life I wanted while I struggled just to keep my head above water. And you know what the worst part was? It wasn't the empty bank account. It wasn't the struggle. It was the looks. The condescension from people who thought they were better than me, the subtle dismissals, the laughter when I talked about my dreams. I remember sitting in a room full of people who had already given up on themselves, and they were laughing at me because I refused to join them in their mediocrity. They thought my ambition was a joke. They thought my confidence was arrogance. They couldn't understand why I wouldn't just accept my place in life and be miserable like them. But even then, even in those dark moments, I had something they didn't have. I had a refusal to let them be right, a refusal to become another statistic of wasted potential, a refusal to feel sorry for myself. Because here's what I understood that they didn't. Feeling sorry for yourself is the most expensive luxury in the world. It costs you everything, your time, your energy, your future, your respect, your manhood or womanhood, everything. When you sit there and feel sorry for yourself, you're making a choice. You're choosing to be weak. You're choosing to be a victim. You're choosing to give away your power to circumstances, to other people, to a world that doesn't care about you anyway. Let me expose something to you right now, a truth that society doesn't want you to know. The world doesn't care about your potential. The world doesn't care about your dreams. The world doesn't care about your feelings or your trauma or your excuses. The world rewards one thing and one thing only: results. You can be the most talented person in the room. You can have the highest IQ. You can have the best intentions. But if you don't produce results, you're worthless in the eyes of reality. That's harsh, but it's true. And here's the thing that really bothers people when I say this. Your struggle doesn't make you special. Everyone is struggling. The difference between winners and losers isn't who has it harder. The difference is who refuses to quit despite the hardship. I've met millionaires who came from nothing. I've met billionaires who were homeless. I've met champions who were told they'd never amount to anything. And you know what they all have in common? They stopped feeling sorry for themselves. They looked at their situation and said, this is my reality. I don't like it, so I'm going to change it. Not tomorrow, not when conditions are perfect, not when they feel motivated. Now, immediately, with whatever they had available to them in that moment. But most people want to sit around and have a pity party. They want sympathy. They want someone to tell them it's okay to be weak. They want permission to give up. And society is more than happy to give them that permission because misery loves company. The system wants you weak. It wants you dependent. It wants you sitting on your couch, consuming garbage content, eating garbage food, having garbage thoughts, living a garbage life, because weak people are easy to control. Weak people are predictable. Weak people are profitable for everyone except themselves. There was a specific day in my life when everything changed. I can still remember it clearly. I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I didn't recognize the person staring back at me. Not because I had physically changed, but because I saw something in my eyes that terrified me. I saw defeat. I saw acceptance of mediocrity. I saw someone who was starting to believe the lies that everyone else was telling him. And in that moment, I made a decision, a real decision, not the kind of decision most people make where they say they're going to change and then do nothing. A decision that would alter the trajectory of my entire existence. I decided that no one was coming to save me. Not my family, not my friends, not the government, not luck, not fate, nobody. If my life was going to change, I had to be the one to change it. That sounds obvious, but most people never truly accept this. They say they understand it, but deep down, they're still waiting for someone to discover them, waiting for an opportunity to fall in their lap, waiting for conditions to be perfect, waiting for motivation to strike. I stopped waiting. That day, I declared war on my own weakness. I declared war on my excuses. I declared war on the version of myself that wanted to feel sorry for his circumstances. I looked at my life and I took full responsibility for every single thing that was wrong with it. My bank account, my fault. My fitness, my fault. My relationships, my fault. My position in life, my fault. And you might think that sounds depressing, but it was the most liberating moment of my entire life. Because if everything was my fault, that meant everything was within my control. I had the power. Not the world, not other people, me. I started training my mind like a soldier trains for war. Because that's what life is. It's a war. A war against mediocrity. A war against comfort. A war against the version of yourself that wants to quit. Every morning, I woke up and I made a choice to be disciplined. Not motivated, disciplined. Because motivation is an emotion, and emotions are unreliable. They come and go like the weather. But discipline is a decision that you make regardless of how you feel. Let me break down the philosophy that changed my life. The philosophy that separated me from everyone who stayed stuck. First, pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. Every time life hits you with hardship, it's giving you information. It's showing you where you're weak. It's revealing what needs to be strengthened. Most people run from pain. I learned to run toward it. When something hurts, when something is difficult, when something makes you want to quit, that's exactly where you need to focus your energy. Because on the other side of that pain is growth. On the other side of that difficulty is strength. On the other side of that discomfort is the version of yourself that you're trying to become. Second, comfort is the enemy of greatness. The most dangerous place you can be in life is comfortable. When you're comfortable, you stop growing, you stop pushing, you stop evolving. You become soft. And soft people break easily. I've watched countless people with potential destroy themselves with comfort. They get a decent job, a decent apartment, a decent relationship, and they stop. They think they've made it. They think they can relax now, and that's exactly when they begin to die. Not physically, but spiritually. Their ambition dies, their hunger dies, their edge dies. I refuse to be comfortable. Even now, even with everything I've built, I wake up every day looking for the next challenge, the next mountain to climb, the next version of myself to unlock. Because the moment you stop growing, you start dying. Third, your mind is either your greatest weapon or your worst enemy. There's no middle ground. If you don't control your thoughts will control you. If you don't master your emotions will master you. Most people are slaves to their own minds. They wake up and their mind immediately starts feeding them negative thoughts. I'm tired. I don't want to work today. This is too hard. I can't do this. I'm not good enough. And they just accept these thoughts as truth. I trained myself to challenge every negative thought, every excuse, every rationalization. When my mind tells me I'm tired, I ask it, are you dying? No? Then get up. When my mind tells me something is too hard, I ask it, harder than being broke? Harder than being a failure? No? Then do it. Your mind will always try to protect you from discomfort. That's its job. But protection isn't what you need. Growth is what you need. And growth only happens outside your comfort zone. Fourth, responsibility is power. This is the most important lesson of all. The more responsibility you take for your life, the more power you have to change it. When you blame other people, you give them your power. When you blame circumstances, you give circumstances your power. When you blame the past, you give the past your power. But when you take full responsibility, you take full power. I don't care what happened to you. I don't care how unfair your situation is. I don't care who wronged you or how badly they wronged you. The question is, what are you going to do about it now? Because blaming them doesn't change your reality. Feeling sorry for yourself doesn't change your reality. Complaining doesn't change your reality. Action changes your reality. And you can't take action if you're too busy being a victim. Philosophy means nothing without execution. Understanding these principles means nothing if you don't apply them. So let me tell you exactly how I applied them. I started with discipline. Every single day, no matter how I felt, I did the things I knew I needed to do. I trained my body, I trained my mind, I worked on my skills, I built my businesses, not when I felt like it, every day. People ask me all the time, how do you stay motivated? I'm not motivated, I'm disciplined. Motivation is for amateurs, discipline is for professionals. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going when motivation fades. I created systems in my life. Wake up at the same time, train at the same time, work at the same time, sleep at the same time. No exceptions, no negotiations with myself. The system runs and I run with it. And here's what most people don't understand. The system itself becomes your motivation. When you string together days of discipline, you don't want to break the chain. When you see progress, you want more progress. When you feel yourself becoming stronger, you become addicted to that feeling. I cut out everything that wasn't moving me forward. Toxic relationships, gone. Time-wasting activities, gone. Bad habits, gone. I became ruthless about protecting my energy and my time because I understood that these are my most valuable resources. Your energy and your time are finite. Every minute you spend feeling sorry for yourself is a minute you can't get back. Every hour you spend with people who drain you is an hour stolen from your future. Every day you waste is a day you'll regret when you're older. I surrounded myself with people who were better than me, stronger than me, more successful than me, not to feel inferior, but to have standards to reach for. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you're surrounding yourself with losers, you'll become a loser. If you surround yourself with winners, you'll become a winner. I also stopped seeking approval. This was huge. Most people are slaves to other people's opinions. They need validation. They need likes on social media. They need people to tell them they're doing a good job. They need permission to be great. I gave myself permission. I validated myself. I approved of my own actions based on my own standards, not the standards of people who weren't living the life I wanted to live. Why would I care what broke people think about my financial decisions? Why would I care what out of shape people think about my training regimen? Why would I care what failures think about my ambition? Their opinions are worthless to me. And when I stopped caring about their opinions, I became free. Free to take risks, free to be aggressive, free to pursue my vision without apology or explanation. Now let me give you some harsh truths that you need to hear. Truths that will make you uncomfortable, truths that might make you angry, but truths that will set you free if you accept them. Truth number 1, nobody owes you anything. Not your parents, not society, not the universe, nothing. You came into this world alone and you'll leave it alone. What you accomplish in between is entirely up to you. Waiting for someone to give you an opportunity is a waste of time. Create your own opportunities. Waiting for someone to believe in you is a waste of time. Believe in yourself. Waiting for perfect conditions is a waste of time. Perfect conditions don't exist. Truth number 2, your feelings don't matter. This is going to hurt some people, but it's true. The world doesn't care how you feel. Reality doesn't adjust itself to accommodate your emotions. You can feel scared and you still need to take action. You can feel tired and you still need to work. You can feel overwhelmed and you still need to execute. Successful people do what needs to be done regardless of how they feel. Unsuccessful people let their feelings dictate their actions. That's the difference. Truth number 3, you're running out of time. Every day that passes is a day you'll never get back. Every year you waste is a year you could have spent building something great. Time is the only resource you can't buy more of, and you're spending it like it's infinite. You're not going to live forever. You're not going to be young forever. Your health won't last forever. Your energy won't last forever. The time to act is now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready, now. Truth number 4, most people will never reach their potential. And the reason isn't lack of talent or lack of opportunity, it's lack of discipline. It's lack of consistency. It's lack of willingness to do hard things. Most people would rather be comfortable than successful. Most people would rather fit in than stand out. Most people would rather be liked than be great. If you want to be exceptional, you have to be willing to be different. You have to be willing to be misunderstood. You have to be willing to be criticized. You have to be willing to stand alone. Truth number 5, suffering is inevitable, but misery is optional. Everyone suffers. Rich people suffer, poor people suffer, strong people suffer, weak people suffer. The difference is that strong people suffer while building something. Weak people suffer while accomplishing nothing. You're going to experience pain either way. You're going to face challenges either way. You're going to have difficult days either way. So you might as well suffer while creating the life you want rather than suffer while staying stuck in the life you hate. Truth number 6, self-pity is self-destruction. Every moment you spend feeling sorry for yourself is a moment you're actively destroying your future. Self-pity is acid that eats away at your potential. It's poison that kills your ambition. It's a disease that spreads to every area of your life. When you feel sorry for yourself, you become weak. When you become weak, you make weak decisions. When you make weak decisions, you create weak results. When you create weak results, you feel more sorry for yourself. It's a downward spiral that only ends when you decide to stop it. So here's my challenge to you. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Right now, today, this moment, look at your life with brutal honesty. Where are you? Where do you want to be? What's the gap? And most importantly, what are you going to do about it? Because complaining about the gap doesn't close it. Wishing things were different doesn't change them. Feeling sorry for yourself doesn't improve anything. Action is the only thing that matters. Start today, right now. Pick one thing in your life that needs to change and take action on it immediately. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not when you feel motivated. Now. If you're out of shape, do a workout right now. If you're broke, start learning a valuable skill right now. If you're in a toxic relationship, have the difficult conversation right now. If you're wasting time on social media, delete the apps right now. Stop negotiating with yourself. Stop making excuses. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions are never coming. The only moment you have is this one, and you're wasting it if you're not taking action. I promise you this, 6 months from now, you're going to be somewhere. The question is where? You can be 6 months older with 6 months of progress, or you can be 6 months older with 6 months of excuses. The choice is yours. And here's the beautiful thing about taking responsibility for your life. When you accept that everything is your fault, you also accept that everything is within your control. You have the power. You always had the power. You just gave it away by playing the victim. Take it back. Take back your power. Take back your life. Take back your future. Stop waiting for someone to save you and become your own hero. The world doesn't hand you freedom. You take it through pain, through failure, through the fire that forges real men and women, through discipline when everyone else is comfortable, through action when everyone else is complaining, through relentless forward movement when everyone else is standing still. So what's your excuse? What's the story you've been telling yourself about why you can't succeed? What's the reason you've been using to justify your mediocrity? Whatever it is, I guarantee you I've heard it before. And I guarantee you it's not good enough. Because if I could rise from nothing, if I could overcome every obstacle, if I could refuse to be a victim even when I had every excuse to be one, then what's stopping you? The only thing stopping you is you. Your fear, your comfort, your excuses, your self-pity, your unwillingness to do what needs to be done. But you can change that today, right now. In this moment, you can make the decision that changes everything. The decision to stop feeling sorry for yourself and start building the life you want. Will it be easy? No. Will it be comfortable? No. Will everyone support you? No. Will you doubt yourself sometimes? Yes. Will you want to quit? Probably. But will it be worth it? Absolutely. Because on the other side of that discomfort, on the other side of that pain, on the other side of that struggle is the version of yourself that you're meant to become. The version that doesn't need to feel sorry for itself because it's too busy winning. So stop feeling sorry for yourself, get up, take action, build something, become someone, and refuse to let anyone or anything stop you. The world is waiting for you to stop making excuses and start making moves. Don't disappoint it. More importantly, don't disappoint yourself. Your life is your responsibility. Your success is your responsibility. Your happiness is your responsibility. And your legacy is your responsibility. What are you going to do about it? The clock is ticking. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and start becoming who you're meant to be. Now,